Okay, this will be the last, I think, the last example to be shown to you. Okay, it's been called critical thickness of insulation for a cylinder. Okay, so for this example, okay, basically uh, we will consider this system. Okay, for example, cylinder ni. Okay, we will assume this as neglected lah. Maksudnya K, maksudnya R untuk pipe tu is very low. Okay? Ataupun mungkin ada certain tu dia lebih kepada application wire sebenarnya. Heating ataupun heat from wire. Okay? So that is why um, sometimes untuk yang very large cylinder, this theory is not really not really influential lah. Okay? Not really important. Okay? It's meant for very small system like electrical punya wire dan sebagainya lah. Okay, whereby you have insulation, okay, insulator. Okay, when you have um, very thin insulation, I think no problem. Okay, because you know that the heat via conduction will be covered by that insulation. So the heat tu tak dia lah keluar kan. So dia tak keluar. Okay. Tetapi once you have a big value of R for insulation, okay, when you increase the value of R tu, okay, so what will happen is you kena ingat dekat luar ni ada convection. Okay. Kat luar ni ada convection. Okay. So once R ni is big enough, okay, then you akan render your punya insulation ni useless sebab R convection ni dah jadi lagi besar daripada R conduction. Okay, ataupun R conduction with regards to insulator lah. Okay, so maknanya R insulation ni dah tak boleh nak control over the punya heat transfer. Okay, because it is being dominated by R convection. Sebab R convection ni kan bergantung kepada R dekat luar. Okay, R insulator. Okay, so that is why the bigger the R2, okay, your H ataupun your R convection will become bigger. Then until that R convection dominating R insulator, then your R insulator or your insulation will become useless. Okay, there's no point of you to insulate because of R convection are dominating. Okay, so that is when we have some sort of limit, okay, for the radius of insulation. You call it as critical radius. Kita bagi critical radius. Okay, but bear in mind that for small system, yes lah. Tapi kalau just piping system, normally this one is no problem. Okay, it's just that tak kisah berapa tebal you nak insulate pun, tapi dia ada calculation of insulation lah. Okay, tapi because in the end kalau you insulate tebal pun sebenarnya ia akan makan cost juga sebenarnya. Sebab lagi tebal your punya insulation, lagi banyak you apply the layer tu kan. Okay, lagi banyak material you akan guna. Okay, so that is one of the factor lah. Okay, then in terms of operational, okay, for the critical thickness ni ataupun critical radius ni, okay, is not good if you have a big radius of insulation because of that factor tadi tu yang I've mentioned just now lah. Okay. Mula tu you insulate, okay lah, dia punya Q tu meningkat Okay. Tapi akhirnya bila you tambah lagi insulation tu, okay, Q dia dah makin menurun. Okay. Q ni is basically the heat ni lah, heat loss to surrounding. Okay. Heat loss to surrounding. So our kalau for electrical wire, okay, our intention is basically to ensure that the higher the heat transfer to the environment. Okay, meaning that your punya temperature at the surface tu is lebih rendah. So you takkan tak melecur lah tangan kalau pegang wire kan. Okay, because of banyak heat yang keluar, so temperature dia akan lebih rendah. Okay. So that is the target lah for electrical wire. Okay. So bila kita insulate tu, kalau kita insulate terlalu tebal pun akhirnya dia akan jadi isu kepada convection ni lah. Okay. That is what critical radius is all about. Okay. So basically critical radius ni untuk silinder, okay. Kalau untuk sphere dia 2K kot. 2K over H. Sphere pun ada juga Dan kalau untuk silinder dia K over H je. K is conductivity of insulator. H is H out lah. H kat luar. Okay, bukan dalam kat luar So K insulator. Okay. So basically kalau you dapat ada K insulator and H not, bahagikan saja, you akan dapat dia punya critical radius of insulator. Okay. Critical radius of insulator. Then kalau nak dapat thickness dia, you just tolak je lah dengan dengan outer diameter of internal cylinder tu lah, cylinder inside. Okay, R1 kan. Okay. So lagi banyak R ku macam case ni, lagi banyak Q keluar lagi bagus lah. Kalau tu Q dia kena max. Okay, sampai ke critical radius ni dia boleh pergi maksimum sampai situ lebih daripada critical radius dia akan turun dah dia punya performance. Okay. So maknanya makin panas lah bila you tambah insulation because of yang ini. Okay. Right. So kita tak pertimbangkan conduction dalam pipe, kita ataupun dalam in the cable, we will only consider on the ni. This one is insulation. This one is convection outside. Okay. So dua tu je lah yang normally kita pertimbangkan. Okay. Then you will have a layer of that insulation. T1 is the permukaan dalam. Okay. Then T infinity. Okay. Which is T surrounding lah. Okay. Atau T out. Okay. So kita ambil kat sini sikit. Okay. Put this one. Letak kat sini. Senang sikit. Okay. So, alright. Last example. Okay. For this chapter. A 3 millimeter diameter and 5 meter long electric wire is tightly wrapped with a 2 millimeter thick plastic cover whose thermal conductivity is 0.15. Okay, so electrical measurement indicate that a current of 10 ampere passes through the wire and there is a voltage drop of 8 volt. Okay, apa ni, along the wire. Okay, and tadi lupa lah, silap main tadi, bukan I, R ni sebenarnya I, sorry tadi baru saya teringat, kita check balik basically dia punya ni is I square R. Okay, so kalau kalau I yang tak ada square tu is basically IV dan V square over R. Okay. Lupa lah, sorry tadi. Okay. Right, so 8 volt along the wire, okay, I and V, okay. If the insulated wire is exposed to a medium at T surrounding 30 degrees C, okay, with a heat transfer coefficient of H is equals to 12, okay. Determine the temperature at the interface of the wire, okay, and the plastic cover, okay, in steady operation. Okay. And the interface in between dua tu lah, okay. So also determine whether doubling the thickness will increase or decrease the interface temperature. So kalau you lukis balik dia punya sistem tu, okay. So you have this wire, dia tak ada internal diameter atau apa external diameter. So they will only have like apa ni, dia punya diameter tu adalah 3 mm, okay. Ataupun dia punya radius of wire is 1.5 times 10 pada power of 3 meter, okay. So R insulator is 1.5 times 10 by the power of 3, okay, plus dengan 2 mm, okay, 2 times 10 by the power of 3, okay. Okay, so jadi 3.5 times 10 by the power of negative 3 lah, okay. Ini permulaan baru 2, okay. So you ada R wire, you ada R insulator. So yang ni adalah R insulator, yang ni adalah R wire, okay. So and then you ada 10 ampere dan 8 volt, okay. So you know that Q sama dengan IV tadi, so 80 watt, okay. Q dia, kita tahu dah Q dia berapa, okay. So Q ni adalah 80. T1 yang tak tahu, okay. E infinity 30. Yang ni tahu tak? Semua dah tahu ni, okay. H sama dengan 12, R2 sama dengan 3.5 times 10 by the power of negative 3, R1 is 1.5 times 10 by the power of negative 3. L dia kata is basically berapa L dia? Determine the temperature, the plastic cover, also determine one doubling. So tak ada, dia tak ada bagi tahu L berapa. 5 meter. So 5 lah. 5 meter long L. L dia 5. Okay. And K is 0.15. Once you have all the equation, okay, you can determine the value of T1. Okay. You can determine the value of T1. So you can determine the value of T1 of 105. Okay. Then when you double the apa ni, the temperature, okay, it will become 90.6. So maknanya bagus lah, okay. Dia punya temperature dia makin rendah kan. So maknanya dekat kabel tu punya temperature tu makin rendah, maknanya banyak heat yang keluar, okay. So which is very good lah, okay. Sebab dia punya temperature tu lagi rendah, so dia lagi sejuk. Tetapi isu dia sekarang ni R critical. Apa dia R critical? Okay. Apa dia R critical? Maksudnya berapa tebal insulation tu yang kita perlu tambah sebenarnya. Maksimum. Okay. Maksimum dia pergi berapa. Okay. So, you kena kira lah. Okay. So, basically boleh kira je kat sini. Sama dengan K over H, right? So what is the K of insulator? 0. K of insulator 0.15. Okay. H outside is 12. So 0.15 bagi 12 over 0.
0.0125.
Okay, 0.00125 meter. Okay. So this is the critical radius. Okay. So maknanya kalau dia punya thickness dia, okay, thickness dia is R RCR minus RY. So maknanya this one is 12.5 millimeter, okay, minus 1.5 millimeter. Okay, berapa? So the thickness would be 11 mm. Okay, just now we are talking about 2 mm and 4 mm, right? Because in the question doubling, doubling the value of 2 tadi tu. Kedua, kalau kita doublekan dia jadi 90.6. Apa jadi kalau kita thickness dia kita double up jadi sampai 11? Increase that up until 11, dia akan pergi ke berapa jauh? Okay, mungkin 80 lebih dan sebagainya lah. Okay. I think I can show you the scenario. Okay, I think this is the best. Will work with apa namanya this Excel. Okay, nampak tak Excel yang saya tunjuk ni? Nampak
Nampak tak?
Okay. Jelas Kalau tak saya besarkan sikit lagi. Okay. Alright. This one is basically the Excel that I have prepared lah. Okay, to calculate the value of critical insulation. Okay. So basically, if we ever want to have like say the Q is consistent Q is consistent because you are the I times V kan, okay, and the rest is also consistent. What the value that is not consistent is your thickness of insulation. So we will look at the thickness of insulation. What might be the effect of that thickness of insulation towards the temperature of the interface? Okay, so it is a T1 lah. We are talking about T1. Okay. All right. Let's say if we don't have insulator, okay, of course we will have only convection lah, because there's no conductivity lah in terms of insulator because R is 0 kan. So they become dictated, is being dictated by or being dominated by that H ni lah. Okay, so H, let's say thickness is 0 okay, what happened to the temperature? Okay, so you tengok kat sini, temperature dia is original temperature, okay, kat wire tu temperature asal dia is 171 degrees Celsius. 171 degrees Celsius. Okay. Kalau kosong thickness tadi, tak berubah apa-apa, tak berubah apa-apa. 171. Okay. Sekarang kita bubuh insulators 2 mm. Apa jadi? Okay. Yang ni sebenarnya saya guna extend ni sebab tak payah kira banyak kali kita terus dapat jawapan kan. Sebab jawapan dia tadi dah ada dah tadi jawapan dia. It's basically 105. Just now is 179, right? This turn out to be 105. So you have a reduction of like 70-degree reduction. 70 degrees Celsius reduction. 70-degree cooler, okay, compared to the previous one. Okay? And what happened if we increase the thickness? It will become 90 degree. Okay. Just now we have like 105, right? So it turn out to be 90 degree. This one, 91 atau 90 degree pun boleh. And the maximum is 11, right? So we put 11. So your punya temperature maximum yang dia boleh achieve is 82.97. Okay? 82.97 from 179 just now. What happens if we further increase the thickness? Let's say if we have 12. Nampak tak kat situ? 82. Nampak tak kat sini? Okay. So dia naik balik semula bila kita tambah dengan insulation. Okay. So this shows that the insulation are reaching the maximum, the coolest temperature, okay, at 11 millimeter, which is critical insulation, critical radius. Okay, once you increase the radius after that value, beyond that value, it will become, dia naik lah. Tapi nak cakap naik dia tu tidaklah tinggi sangat kan. Dia still bawah daripada ni lah. Even kalau you tambah ni jadi 1000 pun, dia akan jadi 83 juga. Okay, dia tak adalah berubah. Tidak, dia akan jadi 140 dah. Okay, dia akan tambah lah maksudnya. Okay, 1000 takkan dia nak tambah 1 meter punya insulator pula kan, besar gila kan. Electrical wire dia 1.5 millimeter je tak logik lah. Boleh tambah 20 ke, okay lah, boleh logik lagi lah. Dia become 85. Nampak daripada 82 tu dia jadi 85. Instead of menurun, dia menaik. Okay. Kalau 100 tu, untuk capai balik ke 179 ni, dia memang besar lah, memang dia akan jadi 2000, 3000, tak tahulah berapa lah. Okay. 152, ni pun 152. I think dia takkan pergi kot ke 179. Okay. Ni kalau kau taruh berpuluh-puluh meter insulator lah, dia tak logik lah dia sampai 179. Okay. Itulah kesimpulan dia. Kalau you tengok dekat graf ni, ada juga graf kalau nak tengok. Okay. Kalau temperature ni macam ni, okay. Dia 179, dia turun sampai sini, okay, sampai critical ni, sampai critical kat sini kot. Sini ke kat sini? Dekat sini kot, critical dia sampai sini. Silap critical dia kat sini. Okay. Dan sampai sini dia naik balik lah. Okay, macam itulah dia punya ni. Kalau in terms of Q tu, paling maksimum dia pergi dekat sini. Okay. Dan kemudian dia dah start turun. Okay. Start turun. Itulah. Okay. So that is the impact of critical radius tu. Okay. So this one is for sphere. Okay. 2K bagi H tadi K bagi H. Okay. And this one 2K bagi H. Ini ada jawapan ini, ada penyelesaian dekat sini. Ini dia punya lukisan dia.